I'm getting ready to head out to the yarn crawl, and I'm first going to go pick up my mom because I bribed her into going with me by saying that I would take her out to lunch because my mom loves to go out to lunch, so we're going to do that. But we're going to try to hit all 7 of the local yarn shops. I'm not sure if we're going to get to all of them, but I'm really hoping. I printed out our passports and I'm ready to go. So these are the little passports, and it lists each one of the 7 different yarn shops, and then you can get a stamp, and if you get to all 7 of them and you do a little scavenger hunt, then you can send it in to win a prize. I'm here to pick up my mom, but first I need to go to the bathroom, make sure we have a little potty break before hitting the road. Hello. Hello, little puppies. Oh my goodness. Oh. Ready? Ready. Okay, let's go. Okay. So we're here at our very first stop. It's Tangle's Knitting on Main in Waxhaw, North Carolina. I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna see if they'll let us film and show you around. This is a really cute little downtown. Tangle's Knitting on Main in Waxhaw, North Carolina was the cutest little shop with a small town vibe. It's right in the heart of their quaint historic downtown. The front area of the shop is bright and open and full of windows overlooking the bustling street just outside. You'll also find an adorable cabinet at the front of the shop full of knitted and felted gnomes, frogs, mice, and mushrooms. Walking back into the shop, you'll find a wonderful selection of yarns all displayed with rustic charm. At the very back of the shop, you'll find an old spinning wheel as well as a friendly little shop mouse. They gifted my mom and I with cute little goodie bags, and I purchased a much needed set of stitch markers for knitting projects. So we're at our next stop, which is the Fiber Studio at Yarns to Die For, right here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Look at that cute little sheep flag. This was the biggest surprise of the day. The Fiber Studio at Yarns to Die For is housed in a more industrial area of Charlotte, North Carolina. But don't let the simple exterior fool you. Inside, we discovered a colorful world full of gorgeous yarns and very friendly people. What I didn't realize about the Fiber Studio is that they are primarily yarn dyers, and they are experts at it. My mom and I were taken on a backdoor tour of the dye studio, and we learned all about where they source their wool from and their unique creative process. We couldn't get over just how beautiful all these yarns were. They were all in such brilliant, rich colors, and the camera just can't do them justice. I purchased a hank of their Studio Sport 100% superwash merino wool in the color Kestrel. It's absolutely stunning. I also picked up a cute little pair of scissors and a pack of stitch stoppers for my knitting needles. We're at our third yarn shop, which is Charlotte Yarn. We next made our way over to Charlotte Yarn, which is one of my favorite local yarn shops. The owner, Remy, is one of the most genuine people, and she carries a gorgeous selection of knitter and crocheter favorites, as well as yarns from independent dyers. The shop was bustling with makers and shoppers enjoying the yarn crawl. This is where I finally got to meet Megan from Native Fibers. I have seen Megan's gorgeous yarns all over Instagram, but had never seen them in person myself. She created a gorgeous colorway just for the yarn crawl, and it quickly went into my little basket. I also purchased a hank of Native Fibers worsted in the color Pearl, as well as 4 hanks of my tried and true Barocco vintage worsted. We're at the 4th, let me see, are we recording? Yes. All right, we're at the 4th yarn shop. It's called A Tangled Yarn up here in Denver, North Carolina, and I will take you around. It's already looking really cute. Look at the sign. Sometimes you just need to lay on the couch and knit for a couple of years. That's adorable.
Cool. Hey, there you go.
Mom and I got back into the car and drove up to Denver, North Carolina and visited a Tangled yarn shop. This was such a cute yarn shop full of gorgeous yarns. They carried a lot of adorable notions and project bags as well. This shop was full of character and charm. One of the things I loved about doing the yarn crawl was that each shop had its own personality, and this one was full of it. We got to see the largest knitted toy I've ever seen before. How cute. And the embroidered project at checkout had us in stitches. I ended up purchasing 2 hanks of Barocco vintage worsted as well. We're at the 5th yarn shop of the day. This one is Knit 1 Stitch 2 here in Huntersville, and hopefully I'll be able to take you around a little bit. We then made our way over to Huntersville, North Carolina to a shop that started it all for me. When I first began crocheting, this was the shop I purchased my yarn from, and it holds a special place in my heart. They also had their adorable and gigantic English Labrador. He was only 20 months old and was the size of a small horse. It made my mom's day because she is all about the dogs. I ended up purchasing the Felted Fox project bag. I knew it would be the perfect size for a small project, and I couldn't resist the little mushroom dangling from the zipper. They also had these adorable felted notion pouches that looked like a koi pond. They were gorgeous. So we're at our sixth stop. I can't say sixth. We're at the 6th stop, which is Hearts on Fiber, which is one of my favorite yarn shops in the Charlotte region. It's so cute, and I cannot wait to take you around and show you all the cute little things they have here. Our next stop was just a couple of miles away in Davidson, North Carolina. This is another one of my favorite local yarn shops. I visited Hearts on Fiber several times in the past, and it is hands down the most gorgeous shop in our area. Kim and her daughters are so friendly, and they invite everyone in like their family. You'll find a wide selection of favorite yarns as well as their own hand-dyed yarns. They recently created a gorgeous collection of yarns highlighting mental health disorders. 10% of all the mental health made beautiful collection purchases goes to Davidson Lifeline, which supports mental health awareness and suicide prevention through creativity, compassion, connection, and community. I purchased a beautiful hank of one of my favorite independent yarns, Camellia Fiber Company, which is based in my husband's hometown of Nashville, Tennessee. We're at our last stop, which is a Kiwis yarn. This is in my own town. I've never been in here before, so I'm really, really excited to go in. And of course, I'll take y'all with me. Our last stop was highly anticipated. This is a yarn shop that had recently opened in my very own hometown, and I saved it for last. A Kiwis yarn is owned by Diana and Debbie, 2 sisters from Auckland, New Zealand. The shop was full of happy stitchers and shoppers. There was a palpable buzz in the shop, full of joy and good energy. What was so unique about this shop is that many of the yarns are ones I had never seen before. Although a Kiwis yarn carries beloved yarns that many of us Americans are familiar with, they also carry a wide selection of yarns from the Southern Hemisphere. I enjoyed walking down the aisle and looking at all the yarn labels that I didn't recognize, which made it even more exciting. There were yarns from Australia, New Zealand, and Japan, just to name a few. One of the owners wanted to show us one very unique yarn in particular. The Zilana Kari is a gorgeous yarn made from 60% fine New Zealand merino wool, 10% mulberry silk, and 30% bushtail possum. You heard that right, possum. Thankfully, she explained that the possums in New Zealand aren't anything like the ones here in the US, because I must have had a very confused look on my face. Possums where I live don't have any hair on their tails, and I couldn't figure out how in the world they got any fibers from it. And the yarn works up beautifully. But I ended up skipping on the possum this time and came home with 2 hanks of Queensland Collection Kathmandu Aran, which is a merino wool, silk, and cashmere tweed. There is so much texture in this gorgeous yarn, and I can't wait to start using it. I got the colors cream and rusty orange. We made it. We did all 7 shops, and it was a lot of fun. We're tired, but I will say this last shop, which is my local shop, that's really special. There's so many interesting yarns, and don't let me forget to tell you about the possum yarn in there. But so I'll go home and I'll share all the goodies I got. I promised myself I wasn't going to buy any yarn, but yeah, I lied to myself. I bought a lot of really cute things, and I'll show you my haul when I get home.